Hi, my name is Marilyn Eichelberger, and this is my major presentation for Introduction to Technology. And my project is on geocaching, GIS, and GPS. Geocaching is an outdoor recreational activity that people do for fun and for education that uses GPS receivers or mobile devices and other navigational techniques to hide and seek containers that are called geocaches or caches. GPS stands for Global Positioning System. It's a space-based navigation made up of 24 satellites that provide location and time information in all weather conditions anywhere on or near the Earth where there is an unobstructed line of sight to 4 or more GPS satellites. Who uses GPS today? The military, civilians, and students and teachers. The military uses GPS for navigation, target training, missile and projectile guidance, search and rescue missions, reconnaissance, and to detect nuclear detonators. Civilians, so people like you and me, use it for navigation and location. So pilots will use GPS, boaters, fishermen, surveyors, mariners, and recreation users like hikers and hunters, bikers, runners, skiers, geocachers, moms trying to figure out where to take their kids. And then it's also used for tracking to monitor movement, and this can be an object like a car or a person in a search and rescue mission. It's also used for timing to provide an accurate clock to the world, and also for mapping to create accurate maps. Students and teachers can use it for geography, math, science, STEM, English, art, social studies, and many other classes as well. It can be used in robotics, geocaching, mapping, planning activities that incorporate several disciplines at once, virtual field trips, and visually exploring other countries. GIS stands for Geographic Information System, and it's a specialized concentration in geography. It's a system that's designed to capture, store, manipulate, analyze, manage, and present all types of spatial and geographical data. But the average person uses it when they're figuring out what the weather forecast is for the day, or if they need to call 911, getting directions from the internet, for driving, and other services that are similar to that. In the past, GIS was created in the 1800s by geographers who used spatial analysis combining epidemiology and geography to pinpoint different cholera outbreaks in Paris and London. Now, GIS is used to analyze all kinds of information related to different things like engineering, planning, management, transport, logistics, insurance, telecommunications, and business. And GIS is great for education because it's a good way to incorporate multidisciplined education. So if you're going to study the climate, that's going to combine science and geography, or if you want to do STEM, that's going to combine science and technology and engineering and math. If you do statistics regarding GIS, it's going to use math and data. And then in art, you could observe a landscape and then paint it accurately. So there's lots of different ways that you can use it. When you combine GPS and GIS, then you can do geocaching, which is a lot of fun. It's a real-world outdoor treasure hunting game that uses GPS-enabled devices and GIS. The participants navigate to a specific set of GPS coordinates and then attempt to find the geocache or container hidden at that location. So how does it work? Well, first, you're going to go to a geocaching website or an app that you like. Some options are geocaching.com or opencaching.us. And then there's different apps you can use: Muncie, CacheSense, Geocaching with Geosphere. But let's say you go to a website. You're going to create an account. You're going to find a geocache you want to find. You're going to grab your phone or other GPS-enabled device and follow the map to find the geocache, and then you'll replace the treasure with a new one of greater or equal value. I'm going to show you some websites now that I like. Okay, now I'm going to show you a website that's really good for learning information about geocaching. It's geocaching.com, and you have to create an account, but it's free, and I've already done that, so I'm going to log in. All right, and this is the home page. I really like this because at the bottom of the page, it's got some great options for nearby events, or what's going on in June, or what some of the best geocaches are near you, but some of them require different memberships. And then we're going to go over here and click on Learn, and I'm going to go to Geocaching 101. And I really like this section because it basically has come up with every question you could ever imagine regarding geocaching. So if you don't know anything, by the time you read all of these, you're going to really know what you're doing. So we're going to click on what does a geocache look like. And this lets me know that they come in all different shapes and sizes, from micro to large, and that they can be in clear plastic containers or fake rocks with secret compartments. And then we're going to look what's usually in a cache. And that's kind of up to the imagination of the person who puts it in the ground or wherever it is they hide it. And you know, when you find one, there's going to be a logbook. You're going to write down what you found, and then you're going to replace it with something new. And so you can put something really creative in there if you want to. And then the other website I would like to go to talks about the app Geosphere, which you can get on the iTunes App Store. And what I really like about this one is that there's tons of different features, and so it's good for beginner geocachers and more advanced ones. And even though it is a little bit on the pricier side, it's $8, but if this is something you're going to want to do with your students a lot, or even in your family, this is a great option. And then they have a section on frequently asked questions. And what's nice about this is that even if they don't have your question, you can click right here and send them an email and they will answer you. So these are some great options for learning about geocaching. As teachers, we really want to make sure that we're able to combine different activities that we come up with the Common Core standards. And so I've come up with a few different options for geocaching and teaching with Common Core. So if you are a history or social studies teacher and you've got 6th, 7th, or 8th graders, one of the standards is to integrate visual information. In other words, charts, graphs, photographs, videos, or maps with other information in print and digital text. So how can you combine that standard with geocaching? Well, you can have students go to a local battlefield and combine history that's in the classroom with geocaching and just have a wonderful time learning and meeting the standard. If you're an English language arts teacher and you are teaching writing for 9th and 10th graders, if you pick the standard, write informative explanatory text to examine and convey complex ideas, concepts, and information clearly and accurately through the effective selection, organization, and analysis of content. Well, how can you combine that with geocaching? How about if you have the students go on a geocaching field trip, and then the goal afterwards is for them to write an informative and explanatory text that conveys how to do geocaching, and then have them aim it at different comprehension levels. Have them write one example for 6th graders, and then have them write one that is more for the 10th grade level. And then finally, if you teach high school geometry, let's take the standard, use volume formulas for cylinders, pyramids, cones, and spheres to solve problems. All right, how can we combine that with geocaching? How about have students go on a geocache treasure hunt and then calculate the volume of various geocache treasures? The teacher would go ahead of them and put 3D objects in it like the day before, such as marbles and Legos. And that would be a really fun way to learn math in real time and in real life. So those are some great options for combining geocaching and the Common Core. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. Here's my bibliography if you have any sites that you'd like to visit to get more information on geocaching, GPS, and GIS. Thanks so much.